Okay, time to move on. So, Genesis, I read through 30 yesterday, and that whole thing with, wait, where did we even leave off? I know I did. Okay, the children of Jacob. I did that, and I explained through 30 what was happening. Yeah. Then there's this discord that comes up between Jacob and Laban. And so they make some arrangement, and then Jacob decides he's also told to do this. He's called to go back to the land. So, but he also feels it's time to, with things that were happening, so he decides he's going to go. Take everybody and go. So here Jacob flees from Laban, and so that's what happens. He takes, his whole family and the flocks, and he just takes off in the middle of the night and doesn't say anything. So then Laban wakes up and notices, oop, they're all gone. So he goes after them, and it becomes a bit of a pursuit. And then, they don't really, Jacob doesn't really know he's going to, but you could figure this could happen, but he doesn't know it's going to happen. And then he finds out, he catches up, and there's this big to do about it. So there's a part over here. Okay, it's 31. And I found out some more interesting things. So I'm gonna share this stuff. I'm not gonna read all of this. There are parts I'll read, but anyway, this is just a kind of summary of it all. But in 31, let's see, it's verses 30 to 35. Now, when Laban catches and his people catch up with Jacob and his people, so what comes up is this thing. So in 30 it says, and now you have surely gone because you greatly long for your father's house. Okay, sure, that makes sense. At least he's trying to understand and be reasonable. But then it says, but why did you steal my gods? And this is like, what? Right? Like, what is this about? So then Jacob answered and said to Laban, because I was afraid, for I said, perhaps you would take your daughters from me by force, with whomever you find with whomever. So, okay, this part, okay. I mean, he knew the guy better than we did, so he probably had his reasons. And you can tell when somebody's not very reasonable. You kind of have to do this kind of stuff, unfortunately, so you don't end up in harm's way. So anyway, that's what he did. Now this part, with whomever you find your gods, do not let him live. In the presence of our brethren, identify what I have of yours and take it with you. For Jacob did not know that Rachel had stolen them. Dun, dun, dun. So, who knew, right? I had no idea until I saw that. I mean, the first time I read it, not now, but anyway. Now, and Laban went into, so he searches everywhere. He went into Jacob's tent, into Leah's tent, and into the two maids' tents, but he did not find them. Then he went out of Leah's tent and entered Rachel's tent. Now Rachel had taken the household idols, put them in the camel's saddle, and sat on them. And Laban searched all about the tent, but did not find them. And she said to her father, Let it not displease my lord that I cannot rise before you, for the manner of women is with me, which means, she's saying she has her period. And he searched but did not find the household idols. So what happens is she ends up keeping them, and Jacob has no idea. It's like a secret. As far as it looks like, he doesn't know about this. So anyway, okay, then they make an agreement, Laban and Jacob, and they leave on peaceful terms. Okay. Then we have in 32, Esau comes to meet Jacob, and now he panics because he thinks that Esau is coming to take revenge on him because of all the stuff that happened way back then. So this is what happens. He ends up sending, he knows he's on the way, and he ends up sending groups with presents to Esau before, like they're meeting, right? They're coming towards each other, and Jacob sends groups of flocks and gifts and things so that will head up and meet Esau before he does. So like he's trying to soften him up, and he does several groups like this with presents. And then he ends up separating his family into 4 groups, with the wives and their children. So in case he comes upon one, he doesn't know about the others, and somebody will at least escape and live. So anyway, that's what's going on here. So he's really worried that this was the intention of Esau, and it's not, but he's worried. So you kind of think that's, he has a guilty conscience from that stuff, although it was God's plan, but that's what it seems like. And then that's what happens, though, when you have a guilty conscience. Like, these people, every shadow will make them jump, And so he's afraid, and that's what he does. And then so this goes on for a while. Oh yeah, and then we get to the thing where he wrestles. Okay, wrestles with God. So this is this famous place where he wrestles with God, and there's nothing really significant about it except in verse 28, where, they're saying it's God, so I don't know how that works, but anyway, okay, in verse 28, and he said, Your name shall no longer be called Jacob, but Israel, for you have struggled with God and with men and have prevailed. And it turns out Israel actually means prince with God. So it's sort of a royal title here. And this is where, like, he has the 12 sons, and Benjamin didn't come yet, but that's coming. He eventually has 12 sons and 1 daughter, but those 12 sons become the 12 tribes. So this is where we get the whole thing with Israel and the 12 tribes. So Israel is named after Israel, which is Jacob, and the 12 tribes within Israel are named after the 12 brothers that are the sons of Jacob. So that's how they get their names, the 12 tribes. And so they get their names that way, but something happens with Joseph, like nobody's named after Joseph, but they get his two sons' names come in. That's where you get Ephraim and Manasseh. So, so there would really be 13, and then somebody goes away. But okay, it's we'll see it when we get to it. But that's the short of the long of it. So he wrestles with God, gets the name Israel. Okay. Now in 33, Jacob and Esau are reunited. Everything is lovely. They embrace. Everything goes well. There's no, bad feelings of any kind. Everything is fine. That's what happens there. Then we have Jacob comes to Canaan, which turns into Israel. So that's what happens there. Then there's this thing called the Dinah incident, where Dinah, the sister, is sexually violated. And there's a whole thing that goes on with that. I don't want to read all the details, but you can read that and see what they did. Anyway, so that's 34. Now let's see. This part is just going quickly here. I'm going to read certain things. Now in 35, oh, and by the way, I found this thing. I totally forgot about it, but when I said that thing about Isaac, well, somebody else said that, and this was a famous Bible teacher that really did pretty good. I mean, and this was like when I was in my late teens, I heard that thing about Isaac. So I just went with that, and I don't know. He maybe meant that, like, for the time being, this wasn't mentioned, but later it does show up that they do record the death of Isaac. So anyway, one way or the other, it's symbolic, and it doesn't get mentioned for a long time. So that could be all it was, and I don't remember that. But anyway, not a big deal. But so, okay, now in 35, there's a part about, it's 2 to 5. Here, Jacob finds out. So maybe, I guess God tells him, and he finds out about these foreign gods. So here, and Jacob said to his household and to all who were with him, "Put away the foreign gods that are among you. Purify yourselves and change your garments. Then let us arise and go up to Bethel, and I will make an altar there to God, who answered me in the day of my distress and has been with me in the day which I have gone. Oh, in the way which I have gone." So they gave Jacob all the foreign gods which were in their hands, and the earrings which were in their ears, and Jacob hid them under the terebinth tree which was by Shechem. So he got rid of that. And they journeyed, and the terror of God was upon the cities that were all around them, and they did not pursue the sons of Jacob. See, once he got rid of that stuff, God was his defense, and that's how that works, okay? If there's compromise, he's not going to have your back, at least not in the same way at all. So that's an important lesson, and many people still need to learn that. But anyway, that's the thing there. Now, that's it for 35. Then things went well, Down here, Rachel dies, so I'm just hoping she fully repented, right? And anyway, she's giving birth to Benjamin, and then she dies in childbirth, and then that's his last child, is Benjamin, who she had quite a bit after Joseph too. So, yeah. So Benjamin it means son of my right hand. So anyway, she gets buried there as well. Let's see. Yeah, there's some intrigue there, but sexual sins are happening. That's all I'm going to say. It mentions the names of the 12 sons again. Here Isaac dies and Jacob and Esau bury him probably in the same place. Then down here, 36 mentions the family of Esau. So it just goes down genealogies all the way, who's descended, chiefs, and this and that, it's just that kind of information. And then here, kings and chiefs that came from him and so on. And that's it. So that's through 36. Now in 37 is where it starts to get interesting all the way through the end of Genesis, which is 50 chapters. So that's what I'm going to do next. And I'm just going to start a new video for that. So I'll do that today, the rest of Genesis, because it's all one thing. It just really zeroes in on what's happening with Joseph and all that stuff. So I'll do that, and it'll probably be 2 videos, but we'll see. Yeah, probably, maybe even 3, but I have to see how it goes. And I have notes and all that, so I'll be right back.